anybody know what show that song is from? Nobody? There it is. Reason I picked that is because Laguna Beach, the Kardashians, the Hills, is why I make content. I love that shit. Trash reality TV. So first off, I want to thank everybody for being here. Obviously, this is a donation-based event. Some people purchase the VIP. And when you do these, you actually have no fucking clue how many people are going to show up. Because a lot of people donate different amounts, and there's limiting beliefs on if somebody donates less, they're not a good person, or they're not going to show up, or they don't care. Well, I'm pretty happy about the turnout, so thank you guys. I know I'm honest. Who flew the farthest? I was kind of in my own head back there. It's a little nerve-wracking. Who? Argentina. We had London, Argentina. Awesome. Did you question the fact that it was a donation? Like, is he really going to do this at all during that flight process? I hope not, because, well, either way, so I kind of want to just do, today's going to go really quick. I tend to run over on everything I do, but they charge for everything here, so I want to keep this to a streamlined minimum. And she in the back will keep me on point too, and so will Ariana. But the reason I called it the Attention Summit was there's a lot of rumors and misconceptions, and a lot of people make content and videos online. And with being able to work with some of the amazing creators and brands and businesses that I get to work with, many of which are speaking at this event. One is Adley, who you hear later today. And she is probably one of the reasons why I focus solely on getting views. As I worked with a lot of people, I found that there are the people that want followers, and then there are people that want attention. Everybody that is trying for followers makes a lot less money than the people that want attention. And as you're marketing and talking to other creatives, you don't realize that. It took me working with some of the biggest creators, like Adley, Brandon, Grant Cardone, other people I can't talk about because of legal shit. But either way, these conversations were, Ryan, I want views, put me everywhere. I'm not worried about making money, I just need attention. I'll figure out the rest. And that was like a shifting point for me in the first 6 months. And I was like, wow, I can make videos about whatever I want, and I can get views. And I don't necessarily have to correlate this video about teaching guys how to dress better to get laid to me teaching somebody how to go viral. I can make both videos. Because the beauty of short form content, and even long form content, is everything is now suggestive. The algorithm is smarter than everybody. Everybody's now gonna see everybody's videos just because everybody has an iPhone. I mean, maybe some of you guys have Androids, I'm sorry. I don't know why. And if you make videos about iPhones, you get views. Just write that checkbox. The algorithm is gonna put your videos in front of everybody because of global geo-targeting and all this weird shit that I don't understand. So you don't even have to have followers anymore. And if you guys notice, and it's something that I was talking about yesterday at the VIP day, because again, there's always the emphasis on I need followers. And followers somehow matter. Well, I haven't focused on gaining followers in 2 years. Guess what? I have a lot of followers. Not as many as most, but I have a lot more views than followers, and I can tell you that they don't matter. But what does matter is the fact that I continually show up on everybody in this room's For You page, Explore page, suggested box on YouTube Shorts, because nobody is following anymore. I mean, think about your own internal patterns as far as what I'm doing when I scroll. You're just scrolling, and that's fine. And you see one of my videos, or one of his videos, or his videos, and you go, oh, that was a good video. You probably don't follow. Then you see another one. The reason you're seeing them is because they're watching the videos from start to finish. If you watch any video to the end, you will guaranteed see more videos from that said creator. The more you do this, the more you show up. One stat that I wish all the apps would give us, which they don't, is how many times somebody watches a video before they hit follow. None of them do it. I don't know why. I feel like it's the most valuable stat. But I think right now, and I think it's going to continue to get worse, that you have to see somebody's face a lot of times before you hit follow. And I'm just going to pick, how many times do you watch a video before you follow somebody? A lot. Do you guys know creators' names that you've seen their videos and you don't follow them, by show of hands? You guys don't, that's the norm. It's even worse outside of here because your guys are a lot smarter than the outside world. Out there, I have a tendency of thinking that everybody on the internet is stupid. A lot of reasons to think that. But when regular people scrolling patterns, you guys are at a heightened level of awareness because you create content, you want to create content, you watch videos, so you tend to watch probably more videos than the average person. So it's even harder to get a regular person to hit follow. So knowing this is why we continually focus on, number one, getting views, and number two, making videos that keep people's attention. And if you master that skill, it's what Adley has mastered it, Brandon Carter has mastered it, I have mastered it. My accounts could disappear tomorrow. And while I'll probably be depressed and get drunk for 2 days, I'll start again on Monday and build another account because I can grow accounts because I can get videos that get views. Everything follows views. So, and one other misconception that I want to smash, and then we're going to get started with how to film 100 videos, is not all views have to immediately lead to money. I've been privileged to work with a lot of really, really advanced people, and they have a lot of money. And when they look at content, they see it as a loss leader. What a loss leader is, if you guys don't know, means I plan on losing money for a while before this makes me any money. You look at somebody like Gary Vee, you look at somebody like Alex Hormozi, all of these people, they can go broke a lot longer than everybody in this room, which means they are not afraid of not making money. The longer you can get out of, I need to post this and make money, the more money you will make. It's a mindset and a limiting belief that a lot of people have that this must make money today. This room right here is because I've posted 1,000 videos. I started posting 2 years ago. And if you look at that, and we promoted this pretty hard. Seeing that, I would have gone twice as hard in the last week because everybody bought their ticket in the last week, I feel like. Like, how many people bought a ticket in the last 7 days? That's wild to me. I'm like, I'm very last minute that I stress Ariana out all the time about our travel. I'm like, yeah, we gotta leave Tuesday. We'll buy our flight tomorrow. It's Monday. I was like, yeah, I just assumed I was weird. Clearly, I am not that weird. But anyways, you have to kind of accept the fact that I'm making videos, and I do believe in the right intentions. If the right intentions are set when you make a video, it will pay off in the future. And it's proven right for me. It's proven right for all the creators I work with. Yes, there is certain types of content, like when you need to make money. You guys saw those cool carousels with Adley's face and Arab and all these people. Those are marketing. Those are designed to sell, okay? The last week, 2 weeks, or month, I haven't really posted a whole lot of organic content. Some videos have gone out. The irony of this is my account is still getting 1 million views a week. All my old videos still get views. So there's this terrifying misconception of if I stop making videos, it's all going to go away. I still have that. I think about it at night. It keeps me awake. It's not true. Like, my account is still doing well, but there are times when you need to promote shit. And I want to touch on one more point and I'll move on, is the longer, again, you can delay that promotion, the bigger that payoff is going to be. If I promoted an event every month, there would be like 3 lines here. The fact that we're going to do this once a year, now, a lot of time to build up to then sell something like this. So if you're selling a product or a service, you can sell a service or try to sell something every day. And a good example of this is like, if you sell it, I know there's a couple people I can pick on, but let's say you sell a coaching service and it's $3,000 and you have 10,000 followers. You post a nice Instagram story, maybe a video promoting your service, you get a bunch of DMs. Maybe you get 100 DMs. 100 DMs then turns into maybe 10 or 15 people reply. Of those 10 to 15, you might get 3, maybe 4 sales calls. If you're a great closer, as in you are the best in the world, you might close half of those. So now you've made $6,000. You're like, cool, that's awesome, right? Send a couple DMs, made a video, made $6,000. Then you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. Then you do another story, another video. Then you get 75 DMs. Then you get 12 responses. Then you get 3 sales calls and you close 1. Sick, I made $3,000. So now we made 9,000 total. Let's do it again. And you post it again. This cycle is what you see everybody on the internet doing. And eventually, that shit goes to 0. And the only thing, and now you're like, fuck, I have to grow because 10,000 followers isn't enough. Then you're like, okay, let's go to 20. But in the meantime, you're still doing this process. You're still selling. So you're getting like one sale every once in a while here and there. And that's good, don't get me wrong, at 3K, 2K, 5K, that's really great money. But if you just waited 6 months, and then you did it, and you made 100 grand, and you built up goodwill for 6 months, 100 grand is pretty good too, right? Like, that's what happened to me when I started selling my coaching program. Bunch of DMs. I actually didn't get on the phone. I just texted people. I don't like to get on the phone. Sway likes to get on the phone. So if anyone has questions about any of my stuff, you can ask this gentleman right here. But I did that all via text message. The reason that happened was because I didn't sell anything for a year. But I made a year's income in like 12 days. This thing, and this is because I believed in, and I even think I sold too early. I was like, I could have hold, like the crypto, I could hold more, I could hold longer. If anybody has seen what's that? I was just watching the other night, where it was about the GameStop stock. Anyone watch that documentary? There's like one girl that's still holding, and she's broke. It's okay to sell. So anyways, that's kind of the point. Most of this comes back to, if you just focus on making good videos. I don't want to use the term providing value because I think nobody fucking knows what that means, but everybody says it. It's just not, it doesn't make sense to me. You just want to make educational stuff that helps people. Everyday people problems. If you make videos about a Lamborghini, that's not an everyday person problem. Nobody backs their Lamborghini into a parking curb. Because like 12 people in St. Pete own a fucking Lamborghini. But a lot of Toyota Corollas are sold, so if you own one of those, you should make videos about that. A lot of Honda Civics. Point being is you need to identify problems that people have and solve them. And then you got to do it in a very entertaining way because, again, is anybody directly going to Reels or TikTok to learn? Exactly. You're going to be entertained and check out. So while education happens on those platforms, it's not really the main. You shouldn't focus on educating. You should focus on entertaining. And all the speakers and the people that you're going to see, myself included, that's how I think. I'm entertaining first. If I happen to educate, cool. And when you do educate, you will get followers. But then there's videos that, I've had videos get 10 million views and I've gained like 800 followers. I've also had a video get 1 million views and I gained 60,000 followers. Shit like that doesn't happen a whole lot anymore because there's a lot more competition. And just for stats, because I believe in data, and the number one thing that we look at is, again, views to follower ratio. Because yes, followers do matter. I know I've been talking shit about them for a little while, but when you're trying to impress somebody, you tell them how many followers you have. So obviously that's important. But with followers, for every 1 million views, if you get 1,000 followers, you're doing really good. If you make an insanely educational video, you might see 5,000. If you're a hot chick. If you're a guy, we're fucked. Right? If you're a shredded dude like Brandon Carter, well, he gets some pretty good stats, but he hasn't had a carb in 5 years, so. He'll tell you all about that tomorrow. But anyways, so right now, that's like my rant, and all of that right there is kind of beliefs that have been set in me, working with people like Grant, working with people like Adley, working with people like Brandon, and the focus. And now all of them do have monetization strategies in place, and they make a lot of money from that. But a lot of them made a shit ton of videos that didn't make any fucking money. And if you're there, that's fine. You can have a job and still make videos. You can be disciplined and make videos. You can work for somebody and still make videos. I believe everybody in this room should have a personal brand, or at least start one. And you should focus on it. And one thing, obviously we're gonna talk a lot about how to make videos, like I'm about to teach you how to make a shit ton of videos in a very limited time frame. But you should all set aside time and money to do this. You should work a job and invest that money into your videos. And you can do it with money or you can do it with time. I don't care which one you choose. A lot of people in here are busy, they have things going on, they need to do this on the side. That's where you pay people. That's where you pay editors. You're gonna learn tomorrow from 2 of my best editors. We even have a little training we're gonna sell after it, full transparency. I have things to sell. But with that said, knowing how to edit and knowing how to get on video and having this done for you will make you money. Because the one thing that separates my short form agency from everybody else is the fact that I have a collective 500,000 followers. So if me and you were on the same phone call with the same person, how many followers do you have? I always say collectively because we round up on the internet.
I'm not sure. got 4, I'm sure.
The point being is,
I have like 160.
yeah, you got a good follow. He makes great videos. I'm just picking on you. But point being, if it comes down to, oh, well, so-and-so has more clout on their own. They're in it, they're doing it. And then they look at your profile. And if you are actually putting out good videos, you win. Point being is, if you create videos, it will help you get business. It solidifies, and I'll share one story. I know I keep going saying I'm going to start another thing, but working with 2 amazing entrepreneurs, I can't say their names, they had 2 different perspectives on hiring me. First one was, the guy was, I didn't trust you because you told me you could get me 100,000 followers in 90 days, and you didn't have 100,000 followers. Just in a perspective, about 6 weeks later, I had 100,000 followers. But the wife was like, I just assumed he was so busy working with, the clients that he was working with, that he didn't have time to focus on his brand. Both of which were true. I made sure I got myself 100,000 followers. I do think that that is a number that everybody should strive for on one platform. One singular platform. You're not going to do it all at once. I focused on TikTok. I still think TikTok is the best place for people to start. I still think it's the easiest to get started. It's the best one. It gets you the most exposure. Everybody that's making videos on TikTok is not doing it to make money. I'm on TikTok, so I'm on every 18-year-old's fucking feed. Because when they're like 21, they might be here. I hope so, because then they can go party. Under 21, it's like, oh, we got all this alcohol stuff. But point being, focus on building a brand. And I'm gonna put an arbitrary number out there because $3,000 a month is a number that you should invest into yourself. And that should go to making videos, because for $3,000 a month, you can find yourself a decent editor that you can make 2 to 3 videos a day for you. If you guys did that for the next year, I don't know the math, but 5 videos a day, or 3 videos a day, 5 days a week, what's 5? I don't know. Basically, you're putting out like 25, 30 videos a week. Am I way off on that? I don't know. Point being, it compounds, and by the end of the year, you will have a shit ton of videos. And you will have more followers, and you will have more views. If your views are down, you just make more videos. It's very simple. If you're posting 1 video a day and you only get 1 million views, if you post 2 videos a day, you have 2 chances to get 1 million views. Now, I would urge people to start slow. Start with 1 a day, build a cadence, and then after like 90 days, go to 2 videos. And then 90 days, go to 3 videos. Above 3 videos is kind of overkill, in my opinion. Most of our clients, we see great results at 2 to 3 videos a day. Over 3, it starts getting pretty messy because you're posting a lot back to back. But then again, there's somebody like Gary Vee who swears by 112 posts a day. What somebody like Gary doesn't tell you is he hasn't made money from that in a long time because he's trying to buy the jets. Because he has a few million in his bank account. He's like, yeah, 50 grand a month, fuck it. I'll make some content. But point being, what I'm about to show you guys is how to film 100 videos. And this is something that we do with all of our clients. And this works whether you're trying to be an agency and work with a client or you're trying to do this for yourself. I'm gonna use the whiteboard. And basically, the first thing we do is what we've kind of deemed the viral breakdown. Now this is, I don't encourage you guys to go into situations where you know nothing about the person that you're about to film if you're an agency. And also, if you're a creator, you should know a little bit about yourself and what you want to talk about. So there is effort that should go into research, brainstorming ideas. Like, what do I want to talk about? What can I talk about? What videos are other people talking about? And later on today, we're going to go through the whole, Luis is going to break down his whole research process, and he's a freak when it comes to that. So you need to just have an idea of what you want to film, and then, or you have somebody interview you and ask you questions. I would encourage those questions that people are asking to be things that you are afraid to answer. I know that scares everybody. Like if you're a dentist, the last thing they should be asking you is about the teeth. They should be asking about your car payment, how much your office costs, how many employees do you have, how much does that cost, how did you get your first employee, how much money do you pay your best employee. All of the fucking questions where people go, I don't want to share that. That shit is the shit that you share. Every time I have had a video where I'm like, I don't want to share that. A lot of them got 1 million views. Yeah. To ask abrasive questions? Because everybody asks stupid questions. Now, I say stupid relatively. If you had the opportunity to interview me for an hour, the last thing I want to answer is how to go viral. I've made hundreds of videos about this. It hasn't changed. But a better question would be like, how much did it cost to put on that free event you did? How'd you do that? How'd you feel when you did that? Why, like, what if you didn't make money? Like, all these things, like, you have to ask the uncomfortable stuff. Like, I have the opportunity to film with Grant and Elena Cardone. We asked them about how many times they have sex. Like, because people wonder. One more?
Is it 10x?
That was pretty good. That was good.
Oh my God.
There's a video about it coming. Point being, that is a good one. Point being, you need to ask these questions. And I'm not telling you to only ask questions. I know I've built a lot of my brand around asking questions, and that's where the Viral Breakdown came. And the Viral Breakdown is it's an interview. It's to build rapport, okay? Because when you're working with somebody, especially a client, and they're paying you, you probably don't know a whole lot about them. And what is on the internet is what you're researching. So when you're seeing what's up there, when somebody hires me and my team to go out to film them and get them to go viral, I'm not using what's already out there. It's already there. It's not new, it's not fresh. So I have to ask people what people are thinking. And that's where, yes, there are blanket questions. Like, people are generally curious about how much money's in each other's bank accounts. It's also wildly uncomfortable to share that shit. So if you do, you stand out. And if you prove it, you stand out even more. But shit like that will always be popular. But it's just looking at somebody and going, what is interesting about this person? What is somebody afraid to ask this person? And you're not gonna hit home runs every time. You're gonna ask a lot of stupid shit. I do it all the time. I probably ask somebody or talk through like 100 different questions per se in like a 1 hour viral breakdown. And like 3 of them might have been good. But that's what today is kind of gonna show you that, yes, I do believe in quality videos, but I also believe in quantity. And there's a saying that quantity creates quality, but when that happens, you just guys, the difference between you and Adley is that Adley's filmed thousands of videos. Like, I started at 1. And a lot of people have the misconception, all of our clients that we've been working with, we didn't easily grow them on TikTok. They started at 0. 2, 3 videos posted a day for 2 years. Now it's like, I can film short, punchy videos. It's different. It's easy to interview. It's easy to have a podcast. And I'm probably going to talk shit about podcasts, but I do think they're good. But podcast is easy. 2 people to sit down and talk to each other about whatever in a nice studio with lights, a few $1,000, and 2 people that are uninteresting can have a conversation. That's what you see on the internet. A lot of uninteresting people having conversations. And then those uninteresting conversations get chunked down into, hey, let's put those through that fancy AI software that sucks and spit out 20 viral clips. Now we have 20 uninteresting videos on the internet that are competing against my one interesting one. And the point of that being is this is a reps thing, and the more you film, the more you practice, and no fancy editing is going to replace somebody who can speak well on camera. The people, Brandon Carter is not Brandon Carter because he had fancy editing. The guy's charismatic as hell. He's polarizing. He's shredded. He is a character. And I believe in you can, be authentic and, yes, I don't want to tell anybody to be anybody they're not. But I know Adley personally, and when she did authentic pranks, her views are a quarter of what they are if they're inauthentic. Meaning that they script them and they actually plan them out. There's a lot of hype right now around Sam Sulek and his YouTube channel, if you guys know who he is. He posts hour-long, and in my opinion, very boring videos. But to the fitness community, they love that. They love watching one guy talk through his workout. I'm like, this is way too much fucking time. But he's getting millions of views on every video. Unedited, unscripted. Sam Sulek is also 19 years old, on more steroids than any human should be on. Is charismatic, is not bad looking for a 19-year-old who's on a lot of steroids. And people are watching him because they probably think he's gonna die. And that is the truth. He's a freak. whether he talks fast or slow, with edits or not, you're like, are steroids gonna kill that guy? And half the people watching your videos, when you start getting a lot of views, they hate you.
Yeah.
They don't like you. They want you to fuck up. They want to comment something mean. That's good. You want that, because if you're getting 50% of all your viewers to hate you, that means the other half loves you. That's why there's 200 people in this room. There's literally people commenting last night shit about me on the internet. It happens to everybody. But you focus on the good. Still, I mean, you can respond to some of the bad. I do it a lot. But point being, viral breakdown. So viral breakdown is number one. So we're gonna do a viral breakdown. And viral breakdown, again, is this a term for let's have a conversation and let's build rapport. And you can't go for the jugular right away. Like, I've tried, the responses get better. It's like, you know, let me just warm up to this. Like, oh, how long you been in business? Oh, how long does it? Okay, show me your account. Like, you gotta warm up to these things and get people to like you along the way, you know. So the viral breakdown is usually 1 to 2 hours. Now, we film this multiple ways, and we'll show you. I have my camera box right there that we travel with. Usually, this is all about the client, okay? A lot of what we do, I know it blurs because now I film with a lot of my clients, and I would encourage you guys to do that if you're filming with clients. And I would encourage you if you're filming by yourself to film with your camera person because interactive content does very well. But when I go and I show up to somebody like Grant, they're paying me a lot of money to do a service. It's not about me, it's about them, okay? So I have to hold my shit till later if I even get it at all. But the viral breakdown, I'm just in it. I'm not usually mic'd up. Sometimes I am, but they're mic'd up. There's a camera facing at them. And I'm like, forget the camera's there. It can be behind you, like zoomed in a little bit. We're just talking. And then you start talking, you start asking questions. And we'll go through this in a second. But this, if done correctly, which, you know, let's say you suck horribly at it, you're probably gonna get 20 videos. Like, so we're gonna go, 20 videos. And again, this is 1 hour-ish. 2 hours, like the longest one I've done is with Chris Crone. It was 2 hours. It was the first time we had really met. We did a lot of research and it was going really well. And we were just getting so many videos out of it that I didn't stop. We just kept going. You'll know if that's happening because you can kind of feel it. Like, these are engaging, these are good. Tell me this, tell me that, talk to me about this. And then just for context, if I didn't do this process with Chris Crone, he wouldn't be being made fun of by everybody on the internet right now. He would, like, all the videos about homeschooling, which is actually, his homeschool video has gotten him invited on Rogan. He's going on Dr. Phil because of his homeschool video. I did not know he homeschooled his children until I asked that question. And that's where you're gonna see myself, Luis, and Ariana come up here. And he said it, Ariana took notes on it, I came back to it and we made a video. So again, we'll get to that in a second, but 20 vids should be your goal from this. Now from this is where it does help to have somebody with you. And I understand that a lot of you might not be able to do that because it is expensive to travel with 3 people. I bring myself, Luis, and Ariana comes majority of the time. Sometimes it's Savannah, but their job, you know, specifically is to be taking notes and kind of keeping track of the count of videos. Because for us, we film every quarter on average. We have to leave with like 200 videos or we're coming back. And when I come back, I lose money. You know, because it dips into profits. So if we can get 250 of really good videos, I don't have to come back for 4 or 5 months. This is awesome. You know, more money at the end of the year. So 20 vids, most I think we've ever gotten was on that Chris Crone. We did about 40 because it went for about 2 hours. And there's a lot of other vids, like if you're like, I have to get more vids, like yes, there was a lot of vids that were like, well, that's a video, but it's not gonna do that well. This is like 20, like we're like, those are good vids. You know, so we do the 20 vids, and I'll take questions on this when I get done. So that 1 to 2 hours. Then once you do this, and it's recorded, so you've already kind of checked off. And again, if you're doing this by yourself, you have to mentally remember this. You don't want to stop the conversation. You don't want to be taking notes. So this is all happening internally in your head. That's where when somebody like Ariana is next to me, she's taking notes and she's writing down homeschool video number 2, you know, bank account video. She's writing just so when we look at the file later, it's kind of in a chronological order. Again, this is not perfect, you know, and the reason for that is because this is going to get sent to my team, it's going to get chopped up, and then it's going to get edited. if you guys are doing this on your own, well, that's all on you. You have to do all of it. But you at least kind of mentally have a chronological. From this, prior to you going to the client, you should have 20 to 50 videos, just topics planned out. Like these are like the straight to camera videos, so we call these direct to platform. Now, depending on how much content a person has out or how good they are at speaking, we've come with lists of 150 topics. You're not going to film all those, most likely. The client's going to say no to a lot of them, and that's fine. And new videos are going to come between those videos. Those videos are the ones that usually go viral. Like, that's like the homeschool. So when you're doing the viral breakdown, so let's say you go 2 hours, then you're going to go, hey, we need a location change and we need an outfit change. That has to happen because, yes, we've done it where nobody changed, and you can still do that, but then the feed starts looking very similar. That does matter. When you're posting a lot of videos, if they start looking the same, the people that follow you and the people that watch your stuff don't know the difference. So you want to have some variety. So now that we have the direct platforms, let's just say we bring, and we're going to show you how to do this on all fronts here shortly. So let's say you come with 50 pre-planned topics. And when I say topic, it's like if I was going to film you and I saw an Instagram pic, I see you have a lot of cameras. So I'd be like, how much money do you spend on camera gear every month? What's your favorite camera and why? These are things that you can look at somebody's pictures and go, how many calories do you eat per day? What diet do you follow? And you're coming with, these are technically, you want to come with hooks and you want to feed them hooks. But again, it's just topics. You need to get them talking. So come with 50. Now, this process should take, we like to do a 10 to 6 filming day. This happens from 10 to 12. Reason we do 10 is because I like to do CrossFit in the morning. Luis likes to eat at breakfast. We like to, creatively, people seem to do better from at 10 or 11 a.m. And you should not, at any cost, let them eat lunch. If they do, it has to be light. We've made the mistakes many times. Do not eat Mexican halfway through a filming session. It kills the mood. And I'm going to make fun of Epic Dental did that to us. We ate a queso and all burritos, and we might as well fell asleep after that. But you want to eat light foods because the energy needs to be high. This is where a lot of your favorite creators, you realize that they all drink way too much caffeine because they all do it. So you're doing this, and then with the direct platform, we're going to go usually, let's say 12 to 3. And again, if things are flowing, don't cut that off. Be flexible in it because this is a creative process. This is structure to it, but it needs to have a level of fluidity. If the viral breakdown is going amazing, you want to go for 3 hours, there's nobody that's going to get mad at you to do that. So 12 to 3, and we like to do 3 to 5 minute files. And every 10 to 15 videos, they change an outfit. We don't always change locations on the direct to platform because when you change locations, it takes time. So be sparingly on the location changes. Usually we do 2 or 3 throughout the day. And it's very easy because the viral breakdowns usually happen at people's kitchen tables where they're most comfortable. So 12 to 3, you're going to say, let's say you get, 50 to 60 videos. And again, these are individual, unique videos that are happening. We also, in some cases, we film multiple hooks. We have been kind of slowing down on that because not all platforms are loving it as much as they were, and the clients don't like it when we post 5 of the same video. So we encourage you guys to at least do 1 extra hook per video, and then 1 natural hook. And this is where you have to take notes, where Luis kind of does this mentally, and we have a lot of reps. And what I mean by that is, if I was going to say, how much does that camera cost right there?
42, just about.
So 42. So we're going to say that's about $7,000 sitting there. So if I was holding that camera, and I was like, all right, tell me how much that camera costs. This camera costs $4,782. And I would be like, why does it cost that much? And then he's gonna go, boom. That's hook 1. This camera costs $472,000. Now during that process, he might say something naturally and go, I fucking can't believe I spent this much money on this camera. That's a good hook. That just comes out naturally. You don't always want to force the hook. We forced hooks for a long time. Yes, it works. But the platform, because forcing hooks is easy for people to copy. Natural hooks are reliant on the charisma of the person. And I would put like static hooks or forced hooks up against natural, and the natural is going to perform better every time. The only problem with that is they're not as predictable. I know that we're going to get 1 to 2 forced hooks for every video. We might not get a good natural hook for every video. So when it comes to hitting numbers, we have to, you got to do both. So again, we've seen these go. We have seen 50, we have seen 75, we have seen 100. We have seen these, when you get somebody in the flow, these are moving and you have your list. It's like this one, this one, this one. And we tell the client, if you don't want to do it, just say no. We scratch it off, we move on. And then it's like, hey, you said this in that video. Like you might have said during the filming of the video that, if I said, oh, where'd you buy it? You might have said B&H. And then I would have said like, why not Amazon? And you're like, Amazon sucks for buying camera gear. That's another video. Why does Amazon suck for buying camera gear? And then you move on, So you have to be, the creative process for this is intense. Like myself, Luis, Ariana, like when you film for 6 hours with somebody and you're just directing them, it's equally as draining on you. You will feel like shit the next day. You will feel like the person, and it's an energy thing. I don't say feel like shit, like you're not gonna get sick or like, it's just your energy is like, I don't wanna talk to anybody today. We have done this shit like 5 days in a row. So like our muscles on this are pretty strong, but it's still, it catches up to you, which is the problem we see when it comes to cranking out so much volume. We've been doing this for like 2 years. Like, I don't want to film anymore. I will, I love it, but it is creatively draining over time. So you have to do things to prep yourself if you're just the person filming, and that's what makes you more valuable as the camera person and what we like to call the viral director. So direct to platform, 12 to 3, 12 to 4. Again, if it's flowing, do not stop it. Then you're gonna shift to what we call rapid fire. And we'll say the rapid fire goes from and give like 15-minute breaks, like, hey, go change your shirt, we're gonna change locations, grab a coffee. If they wanna eat, like Brandon eats a ton of like keto snacks all day. He also drinks like 1,300 milligrams of caffeine. Like he's drinking pre-workouts, there might be some other stimulants. Like he's just going and he's eating very lightly and he's also doing push-ups between videos because he has to stay jacked, even though it's not gonna go away. But these go pretty fast, and then you're gonna switch to rapid fire. Now rapid fire, they're very similar to the direct to platform. And we'll say that that's gonna go from like 3 to 5. And these are like, again, very similar, but just like, you're in their kitchen and be like, why do you like Nespresso? And then you just fire something out. Boom, there's a video. Why do you like iPhone over Android? Boom, they fire something out. And these aren't really that pre-planned. We kind of have another idea based on what we filmed to that point. And a lot of these are gonna be repeated things. Like with Chris Crone, the more he talks about homeschooling, the more views he gets. So we'll do the homeschool in the viral breakdown, we'll do the homeschool in direct to platform, and then I'll be like, I'll just ask him those questions while the camera's running. And these might be, from a camera perspective of like footage, the viral breakdown is gonna be one long file. You don't wanna shut that camera off. This direct to platform is going to be usually individual 3 to 5 minute files. If they go over 5 minutes, it's going too long. Because now you're sending an editor a 5-minute file, and I promise you they will fuck it up. They need the perfect files, which means that the clients have to be good at speaking, which is why you see nightmares when it comes to editors. And all the editors are like, dude, I fucking hate long files. Also, we film in 1080p, because when you're transferring hundreds of videos in 4K, we'll probably still be uploading Elena's from Tuesday. We use 1080, and I'm not a huge believer in the fact that forever lasting my content. I don't foresee the TikTok video I made 2 years ago being any less effective 4 years from now. It might be a little blurry comparatively to the 27K we have in 2029. Still good. So rapid fire again, usually these are you get another 10, 15, 20, sometimes 30 videos. They go pretty quick. So we're gonna go here, 20 vids. And then this is where I would encourage, you guys as a creator, because one of the best ways right now to grow on Instagram is the collab feature. Also, one of the best ways to get business is association. So if the client is open to it, you film videos with them. Reason being, how many people have seen me in a video with Chris Crone? How many people have seen me in the recent video with Grant Cardone? Did that up my status? Okay, now again, this is where you should tread lightly. This is not about you. And I want to share the story of how this came to be. Onyx Singal is a good friend of mine. We worked with them for about a year. We were doing like 80 videos. And Onyx was like, he had some personal things going on, which this happens, you know. And he's like, bro, I'm dead. Me and Luis had flew to Washington. I'm like, I'm not dead. I'm like, I don't want to come back. Washington's not fun. It's not like Vegas. So I'm like, hey, we need to, I was like, well, and me and Luis were like, I was like, well, let's just set the camera up and then I'll just interview him. And if anybody's seen any of those videos, that's how, again, this is kind of the viral breakdown. Like, we didn't really have that yet. It was like, you know, these are more collab videos, but I was just like, I know, like, Onyx hates Androids. That's where the "You're Poor If You Own an Android" video came from, which got like 12 million views, which is where Onyx video about his $20,000 or $10,000 toilet came from. Onyx is kind of known as the toilet guy because of like these videos came because I was like, what's, you know, I think I asked him because he said he has like a man cave, like he has certain things that, and I was like, I said, tell me about that, and he's like, yeah, he's like, people that come to my house love to take a selfie with my toilet. It's a pretty good hook, right? I'm like, tell me about your toilet. And he's like, I forget the exact number. I think it was like $5,000 each or $10,000 each. It's like got AI. It's like, it's crazy. He had a selfie with his toilet. But we made a video about that. That video got like 10 million views. That just came from me. And here's the thing. It was engaging because I was in the video. We were going back and forth. It was all filmed. We collabed. And I got followers from that too, because Onyx has a bigger audience than me. I think at the time. I think we're close now. But that got me followers. But that wasn't the intention. And I didn't say, hey, I'm looking to get followers from this. I was doing him a favor, and he also knew that the videos were going to be engaging, so he was okay with it. So we shoot for, if I start doing interviews with somebody, it's about roughly, and I like to limit it because I don't want only me and somebody coming out. I want there to be variety, again, for the feed. And I also don't want to be 100% attached to people's brands. Like, this has gotten to be like a selling point also for me, and this is where I didn't expect it, but people now pay because they want me to be in videos with them. Because they know that I'm going to ask good questions, and then my team's going to edit it, and they're going to get more views. So, but that wasn't the start. The start was with Onyx that day, and because we did that, we got like 30 videos, which got us to our count. At the time, it was just me and Luis, and we were doing like 100 videos a shoot, like per day. And then it was like, when Ari came, we kind of systematized this, and in one day, we've left with like almost 200 videos before. The counts are kind of, the goal was obviously 100, and we like 100 because it's one video a day for 90 days on average, so you can go back once a quarter. Like that's, why 100? And then if you're doing two, and in our case, we've done up to 3 hooks per video, we're actually leaving with 300 variations of videos, which is a lot of videos to post over the next 90 days. Because contractually, we're obligated. Depending on which package people pick when we work with a client, it's either 2 videos a day or up to 6 videos a day. So we need to get the volume. It's like imperative or else we breach contract, and I don't want somebody like Brandon Carter mad at me. Right? So, let's just say hypothetically we do another 20 vids of interview, and that goes from 5 to 7, or 5 to 6. These go really fast, like when I talk to people. So 5 to 6, we get another 20. So we got 20, 40, 50, that's 90, 110 videos. Most of these go all the way till 6, give or take. We did with Elena, we did 11 to 6, That was because I wanted to sleep an extra hour. But again, you do this because you have to, if you are offering that service of, you travel to the client, it is easier for them to go in-house because they can film faster and get more out. So if you're an agency or a creative business owner, you don't want to be easy to unplug. And what I mean by that is they can replace, like Brandon Carter could replace me with somebody else if he's just looking at the edits. But what he remembers is that we filmed 1,200 or plus videos face to face. And the dinners, and I would encourage you guys, you go to dinner with the clients. And I know it's scary, you pay for it. Right? Because what's a $300 dinner when you make $10,000 a month? They like to be treated. Most of them won't let you pay because they want the tax write-off. They're like, nope, I got this. And we didn't, for the longest time, charge for travel. We are now charging for travel. And I'm going to talk about that in my story later. I think you should charge for travel, but I 100% believe that if I charged for travel, I would not be standing here with the followers I have today. Because nobody cared about this when I started it. A lot of people care about it now. There was no rules for TikTok. It was just, should I do that? Kids are there. Now it's a thing. You guys got it way easier now. But this is the structure, and I'm going to bring out the case, and I hope I don't know what time it is, but I'm going to kind of show you kind of what we set up, why I have it, and why it's all the gear, and then me, Luis, and I are going to walk through quickly a viral breakdown. It's everything. Okay, so I got about an hour, because I'm not going to go over on time, because you guys definitely want to listen to Adley talk. She's cooler than me. So this is what we travel with right here. Reason it's not a Pelican case, one of those hard cases, because I don't want to get robbed. And I'm hyper paranoid about losing the footage. When you film for 2 days and you do this twice, okay, you're leaving with 250 plus videos. And when you're filming with somebody like Grant, the time is of major value. I get 4 hours with that guy. And essentially the first time we got 2 and he gave us 4. So if I walked out and I get robbed and my shit's gone, Mr. Cardone, I got robbed. He's like, what's the videos? Did you beat the guy up? He's like, you're a big guy. I never wanted to have that conversation, particularly with clients we worked with in Las Vegas, because I had to walk on the strip with said case. It just looks like a suitcase. Yes, I put stickers on it and I make it loud because I do that to all my stuff, but this is what we bring. And a Pelican case would be safer. And it gets annoying. We used to not travel with all this gear. It used to just be a camera and a backpack and we just show up. But since we got lights and everything, it got pretty fun. And the videos are generally much better. So this is what we bring. And the fun part about being a videographer is when you travel with a bag, that's why we all wear black. Because you can wear the same pants 4 days in a row. So you're going to see a lot of misorganized cables. And also, one hack that I didn't touch on. So the viral breakdown, once you get comfortable with a client, the reason we travel with 3 cameras now. I used to think that's overkill. Because you don't need 3 camera videos to go viral or do that. You absolutely do not. But what happens is we have the main camera on the person. I'll have Luis with the filming phone. The reason I use a phone is because I'm pretty sure Adley still doesn't use cameras. She gets more views than me. She uses all cell phones. So there's something to be said for that. I still think she should do camera though sometimes. Yeah, okay. But originally she's only phone. And I remember shit like that. So we have the filming phone, which is an iPhone 12. I don't know. We have the small rig cage on it. I want to try to get through this in 10 minutes and set this up so you guys can see. I'm going to make fun of Luis. I have this little handle. I think this all costs. Now this is a phone. This is only for filming. There's no data. There's nothing. It's Wi-Fi. The only things on this are TikTok, Instagram, and Google Drive. And YouTube, I think, is on it. It's only made to film. And I was because you start filming on your personal phone, yes, you can do that, but it fills up really fast with storage. And again, the phone is kind of fumbly to upload footage. You got to AirDrop, which is why you can't do this shit with an Android, AirDrop. We have so many different mics, and I'm also super annoyed all the time because whenever I buy something for camera, I buy 2 because shit breaks. On the Elena, I bought 2 tripods, and one of the tripods broke, which means I lost my vlog camera. I didn't get that footage because the tripod broke. Me and Luis were like, shit, man, we drove up. We just had an extra one in the car. I had like 12 at my fucking studio. You know, so point being is bring extra, because shit does happen. We use the Rode Wireless Go's. There's plenty of mics. DJIs are good. I got one here going. You know, you want wireless on these because you're going to usually be kind of farther away. And I think they're a little more professional when you're working with a client. But the phone's usually just going, because if you're doing the viral breakdown with a static camera, and then from the side you have the phone, what did we just get? Instead of 20 videos, we just got 40, because it's a different angle. If one of those 20 goes viral, we just got a viral video from 3 different angles. The consumer is not going to realize that. So filming phone's number 1. That's always there. And again, make sure your shit's charged. It's nothing worse than that. So we have like 37 batteries. This is the main camera. This is a Sony ZV-E1. Reason I got this is because I wanted the tax write-off. But this is like $2,000 for the body. I would recommend, if that's a lot for you guys, the Sony A6600 or newer version of that. You can pick up for like $500 to $700. Really good, worth the investment. Because if you're planning to make content, you should invest in some cameras. Makes your life easier. Yes, you can use your phone. I'm a 100% believer. You can go. I've gone viral a lot with a phone. It's just when you're filming 200 videos, you're doing that shit with a camera and a memory card. Start, stop, start, stop. Because another thing we found out, when you film with the phone for too long, it dies in 4 hours. What if you have an 8-hour shoot? So then you got to switch to a camera and charge the phone, and then go back to the phone. Or you buy 2 phones, which we're probably going to do that too. So this is the camera ZV-1, and I used to only travel with one lens. This is the 16 to 55. I never had a client complain about a lens at all. I used to only love the wide 16 millimeter because it's like a $350 lens from Sigma, until Brandon Carter was like, I hate how I look on a 16 millimeter lens. I need a 50. And I'm like, well, he pays a lot. I better buy a 50 millimeter. So I bought the 16 to 50, and we have the zoom capacity. I don't really care too much about it. I think I look good on a wide angle, you know. But again, if you have clients paying a lot, you need to accommodate that. And you know, and to be fair, Brandon does look good with a 50 millimeter lens. But this lens, I think, is like $1,500. So this is it. Like this camera, millions of views. That phone, millions of views. Like, well worth it. And then for mics, on this camera, we run the Sennheiser AVX, which is this guy. I just bought it because it was the most expensive one. It's actually very durable. Every single client drops it on the tile floor. It still works. Again, if it breaks, you need to have another one. It's not the client's fault that he dropped it. Brandon is notorious for dropping this. But they're also mic'd up on 2 mics too. Obviously, we have the mic for the phone. We put dual mics on everybody. We also started micing me up. I'm wearing 2 mics for 2, like, so it's, again, it's just different variations. We might not use it all, but we get it. So this is, again, this is expensive. This is $950, I think, for this. But I do think that nothing sounds better than this audio. So that's a Sennheiser. Then it gets set up. It's really hard to do one-handed. Then we have lights. These are the LumeCube studio lights. They come with light stands. These were bought, you know, about 6 months ago. We didn't always bring lights. We just kind of relied on client lighting and stuff. You know, again, we were in a few instances where the client's houses didn't have the best lighting. We made do, we got views, but now we travel with, these come in a pair, I think, for $350. The stands are pretty little. This is where they fold down to. It all fits in here. You need 2 of them. They come with 2 of them. And then lastly, we have the tripod. You would think, like, I would encourage you guys to spend the most amount of money on a tripod. We've broken tons of these. I'm not even a fan of the carbon fiber ones, even though they tell you that they're the best. This is the Peak Design aluminum. I think it's like $350. This thing's going strong now for 2 years. We bought a carbon variation of this. It broke Tuesday with Elena Cardone. And all I did was go, tink, and it snapped in half. And that cost me not using the vlog camera, which I'm going to bring up in a second, because I put the vlog camera off to the side to record me filming the session. So I did not get any footage that helps promote me because that tripod broke. So that cost me a lot of views. So Again, you're gonna make these mistakes. Like, you will film videos with, a lot of videos with no audio, and I saw Donald and Monica walk in and have to fly back to Utah to fix your mistakes. And then you just don't do it again. But anyways, we've made a lot of dumb mistakes like that, but this is like, we also have multiple batteries for every camera. It doesn't weigh too much, but that's like the setup. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and ask Luis and Ari to come here. Oh, also, one thing, if you plan to get the Sennheiser mics, the transmitter that goes on the camera, this battery will last all day, 10 plus hours. It's a beast. The little battery that goes on the receiver that sits on the camera, you get 3 hours. First time I used this, I was like, that's fucking stupid. So now we bought 2 of these. And these were back ordered for months. So if you plan to get this mic, immediately order them. They're like $50. It's not like an expensive thing, but these are just things that if you don't know, you show up, it's like, it's fucked. But anyways, that's the setup. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this up really quick. And if anybody wants to ask me questions while I do this, and then we'll go on. I'm gonna put the mic down, I'm sorry. Fitzy? Yes. All right. That's Luis. Let me give Luis love. So, Luis is, no, we have the other one over there I gotta go grab. But just a little, Luis has been traveling the country, would be the world, but he still hasn't renewed his passport for the last 2 years. So, I'll go Grant, and then we'll go just around.
Who owns the videos?
So, I live by the code. I don't hold videos hostage. Reason being is I've bought stuff and I've had people go like, well, you have to pay me for the raw files. I'm like, it's fucking me on the file. Why do I pay you for me? You know, so with that said, the clients have full capacity. It's all their footage at any given time, even the completed videos. We do, however, put in the contract that the raw files cannot be utilized by another agency's service. Reason being is I got some competition and I have people that also guarantee virality, and one of my clients asked me for his raw files. I said, absolutely. Your files, I gave them to him. He gave them to other said agency, completely negating the fact that we put a lot of research and effort into these topics. The other company took the raw files, edited the videos, and they did a good job because they're great files. We do a great job. Started going viral, and they were getting paid on performance. And I looked at him, I was like, dude, you just fucked me. And that happened once. He didn't mean to do it. You know, I just said, that was my mistake. Like, that wasn't in the contract. You know, so we added that in. And again, if a client stops working with us, I send it all. Like, it's theirs. If they choose another agency, but if we're working together, out of respect, and like when I tell clients that, they totally respect that. They're like, no, this is your work. Like, you know, we filmed all those videos. I understand that, you know, because, you know, and again, it just pissed me off because the other side knew what they were doing. But, you know, point being, it's shit like that will happen. What's up?
Could you reiterate the difference between the viral breakdown and direct to platform?
Yeah, so the viral breakdown is like a podcast. Yeah. Like I know you were here at the VIP Dish. We had 2 chairs set up. Usually if like the camera is over my shoulder, kind of pointing at the person. And you're just hearing my voice. Like, so it's all filming the client, and I'm saying, you know, how many kids do you have? You know, what's your favorite color? Why do you like this? But it's just filming the client.
What camera?
That's the main footage. So that would be and we'll show you, that's the ZV-1, the main camera. The main camera is always pointed on the client, mic'd up straight to that camera. Nothing else, you know, because even the lavalier mics, you can pick up other audio. So yeah, and then the side angles. Can somebody bring me my vlog camera? Because I didn't talk about that. Oh, hi, babe. There's my fiance, Kristen, my daughter. Yeah, Suze, can you bring me that? Yeah, I just wanted to talk about it for a second. So I've since started vlogging to grow YouTube. This has an 11 millimeter wide angle lens. This shit gets like the whole room. We now just set this up on a tripod off to the side. It has the shotgun mic, which was like $50. This is the 6600 that I had before I bought that one. because you have more shit to do. But yeah, once you see that, it'll be clear. In the back there?
Are you guys shooting log or what profile you guys?
Automatic. I don't know how to do manual at all. Again, most cases, I'm a big believer, I'm a huge follower of Casey Neistat. I like to control the settings of what's being shot, which is why we look for good natural light. We usually set the most aesthetics, we start bringing lights. I have, this is a 1.8, f1.8, so it's good in all lighting scenarios. The G Master is a 2.8, so it's really good in low light scenarios. It's just for simplicity, and again, we film in 1082. We don't want the massive files. We only film in 4K, which I learned from Adley's course, if you have to zoom in far. If we know we have to do that, then we film in 4K. But that's very few and far between. And really, we only do that with the phone. And again, you'll learn 4K files on a phone evaporates storage. Yeah, man?
With a viral breakdown, do you already have a set of themes that you have in your head that you want to kind of extract from
Yes.
the client? Like family, hobbies,
Yeah.
and all that stuff?
Yeah, we're gonna do that live, but I'll just say, it's all it's health, wealth, relationships, finance, all the big topics that tend to get a lot of views are what we focus on. And we'll go through that really quick. Back over there.
So now this client who cannot talk for less than 2 hours at a time, how do you make them interesting in a short form video?
So all their videos are very long and extended.
We usually go for about 20, 30 minutes and edit it down, but those are boring as hell.
Well, what you can do is, this is where I would say bring a second set of eyes. Knowing he's going to go long, what the second person and you could be doing is taking mental notes of when he needs to film hooks. So if you film a 20-minute file and internally you're like, let's film some relationship hooks, some dating hooks. You can film general hooks to then plug in to get more from those files, as well as to kind of, break it down so you get more from a long-winded thing. Most of the time, though, we come in because we're not trying to. There's a misconception. A lot of people are trying to film one. I have this time to film, so I'm gonna do the Gary Vee. I'm gonna film one podcast, or I'm gonna film and then break it down. This is we are showing up these are TikToks. These are fast paced. You have to be very I'm a dick when I talked about that. I'm we are here to do one job, and you need to talk short and punchy, or at least you need to try, and we can help you. And if it takes putting timers, you only have 3 minutes. A lot of times we'll do a video, a direct for platform, and it might be a 5-minute file. And I'll just say, hey, I'm gonna challenge you. Can you say that again in 2 minutes or less? And they will. And then you get 2 videos, because we're gonna post both of them too. Back corner over there.
Yeah, I was going to ask, when it comes to the interest versus what the client actually does as far as their business, how far over do you go into the interest?
Yes. So I've done what I call the HEM method, which is hobbies and interests, expertise, mastery. Now, here's where you got to kind of work with the client. If they're trying to grow, you need to focus on hobbies and interests more. I would even say 95% of the videos you put out should have nothing to do with what you're selling, because that is going to get you growth. And on a spectrum of 30 videos a month, which is 1 video a day, that is roughly 24 videos that should be about hobbies and interests. And then you have what I call expertise and mastery. Expertise is anything you've ever done in the past to make money. Doesn't have to be what you're doing now to make money or what you've been doing to get rich, but it's the past. I used to sell doors and windows at Lowe's. I worked in retail. I can make videos about being in retail. I worked at Lowe's for 7 years. I have an expertise in that. Am I getting rich from Lowe's? No. I've been a door guy at a nightclub. These are expertise things, And then the mastery is your hardcore educational stuff. Whatever you're doing now, for me, this is, here's how you go viral. Here's how you edit for retention. Those videos are not designed to go viral. They're designed to make my audience happy and show my mastery and tell people this is what I'm truly good at. But for a long time, I didn't do any of those videos, and I just focused on growing. So this is where you've got to convince the clients, because they're going to be resistant to that. They're not going to want to do the hobbies and interests. They're going to only want to talk about their lane. and that works. It's just you don't grow. So again, it's depending on how many videos, but I would say if you do 80-20, like 80% of the videos hobby and interest, 20% that, and if you're trying to walk your clients into this, if they're super resistant, start with 20% hobbies and interests, and be like, film all they want, and be like, hey, is it okay if we film like 10 videos and have some fun with some stuff? I want to, you got to convince them, and then they'll see the views, because I guarantee you they'll do better. They'll see the views, they'll start, this is a game of dopamine. They're going to get the comments, the positive comments, the negative comments, they're going to get all that, they're going to get views, and they're going to be happy. And then the next time, be like, hey, that kind of worked. Maybe we should try a little more. And because you got to kind of earn these things. I am very fortunate when we show up, it's like we have that authority. We don't have to go through that, but I also understand that not everybody has that luxury. So you got to kind of work your way up to that. And again, that's where you come in with research. Be like, I see based on Instagram that you hate the car line at your kid's school because you made an Instagram story 3 weeks ago bitching about it. Let's make a car line video. We did that for one of our clients, Natalia, and that shit got like 400,000 views. We wouldn't have known that, except I'm pretty sure Luis looked at it, saw the video or something. Right?
I knew her best.
He knew her past. He knows everybody in here. He knows about you. But cool. Yeah, man.
Do you ever have your clients cover topics in their space at all, like news articles or anything that's trending now?
We send stuff to people. Hey, can you make a quick video about this? Can you do a green screen about this? Do you have a response to this? I personally have never had a response video do well. I know Grant's laughing because he made me film a bunch of them. Grant's over there. He filmed me for like 7 hours. And he was like, I just want to get a viral video with a reaction out of you. We haven't posted a lot, like 3. So that is not my expertise on reaction. I do follow a lot of good creators that do reactions. It's just a different style of filming. And one might be good at it, and you got to kind of identify it, but I would definitely say have them try. Let me go over here, because the light is blinding me. Does anybody have questions on this side? No? Oh, over there in the corner. Got you.
Have you ever used Riverside?
Riverside? Yes. Virtual shooting is tough. I wish I wish we could just sit on Riverside or Zoom and film. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there is virtual filming is if you can't film with somebody in person, you should definitely virtual film. For 2 years, Luis filmed with Ryan Pineda over Zoom. Now, the way that works is I would encourage you against the Riverside, and you have the client set up their camera, and they have somebody there. So this is the general setup. Ideally, when you get to a client's house, office, wherever you're going to be, you want to look for the most aesthetic spots. We are very fortunate. A lot of our clients do very well. Their houses are very aesthetic. So we usually do a mixture depending on the client, if it's in their office or studio area or their house. And I will say I'm very spoiled. It was very easy to make a $28 million house look aesthetic for the Cardones. We have had experiences as of recently where we walked in and we went to what looked like a drug house. And I was like, you definitely don't make $2 million a year if you live here. Again, we make mistakes, but I ended up at the last minute renting a podcast studio in Las Vegas to film a guy for 4 hours. That has happened before. In this case, I wanted to get the fuck out of there as fast as possible, so I didn't even ask for that money. I wanted to refund the guy everything before I got home because I wanted no part of him. Sometimes you get bad feelings. I got one, so did Luis, so did Ariana. It was the first time that's ever happened. We had a guy, there was payment issues. I made the choice to we're gonna just do this anyways, and it just ended up being disastrous. But the main thing is we filmed videos together, and I didn't want to be associated with him. After filming him all day, I realized I didn't trust him. Even though he paid, and we did our job, me getting in the videos with him, I was like, I don't want these posted. But what we did was we refunded him the money. I deleted all the videos with me and we sent him everything else. And I ate the costs. And I feel better about that.
We have about 20 minutes.
All right, so
Let's do it.
now, You're good. So ultimately, depending on what you want to show, like, so I know you guys can't.
Do a viral breakdown first.
Yeah.
And then I'll create the topic list.
Yeah.
And then we'll just start rapid fire, or we'll start doing direct to camera.
Yep.
And then you can do rapid fire.
Hold that for me, Louis.
We'll do like a condensed.
So we like a kind of an angle, just because if you watched any attractive Instagram model take a selfie, it's a top-down angle. So they all, hold on, I'm trying to fix this. Yeah.
Was that?
Yo, you're getting the face on. So just for sake of time, this would be the viral breakdown. This would be the direct-to-camera setup, okay? The viral breakdown would be the camera, like I would probably have a chair. We'd be at a table, or on the couch. Like we're just next to each, we're just having a conversation. But the camera is pointing at Allie at all times. For sake of this, because we have a little bit of room and it's, we're at an event, I'm just gonna treat this as a viral breakdown, and we're gonna hit start on the camera. I'm gonna like, hey, Allie, she at this point knows that we have done a lot of research. Where the fuck is it? So she already knows we've done a lot of research on her. By research, which Luis is gonna talk about, was done through Instagram, YouTube. We're watching podcasts with them. We're getting to know them, what's out there, what are they talking about. Podcasts are a great way for this. And Luis is kind of listening, again, for those things that never got clipped or are different. And then we're writing our topic list.
Right.
Yes?
Hold the mic a little bit far away from that because you
Oh,
well, you can just hold it like a little bit sideways.
like gangster?
Yeah.
All right. So, Allie, now again, this is a little more obtrusive because this is the direct-to-camera setup. There's usually no lights involved in the viral breakdown. We set those up later. It would just be across at a table and there's a camera. Usually, like I said, the kitchen is generally the best lit places in people's houses. I don't know why. Other than that, it's the bathroom, but we're not doing it in the bathroom. So with this, I would be, so you can just move this for sake of this video so it's not blaring. Yeah, let's put it that way. So, Allie, why do you talk about boners?
I love dick.
So, for context, Allie is the female face of Men's Health and Testosterone. She actually works with one of our clients is Merrick Health, their TRT clinic. She has a great persona. She just put on a good size event for herself. And she is an ideal client. She's very polarizing. She's very in shape. She has short hair. She looks like a muscular pink. Like, she wears a lot of pink. So from a client perspective, if you're looking for good clients, she doesn't have to talk and she's polarizing. And if you have to and you will have to kind of bring this out of clients, you're not gonna always have the most polarizing people. But when you're looking I assess people by how viral I can make them, because the expectation for me is how much we charge, they must go viral. I don't guarantee it in the contracts, but the expectation is we get them a lot of views, because when you're charging $10,000 a month, that is what they expect. So the question, so why do you want to be the face of Men's Health?
Because I have daddy issues, so I want to make sure that men grow up, unlike my dad, as the best dad, to show up as the most elite version of themselves.
Why do you have daddy issues?
Because my dad was absent when I was growing up, and I sought out promiscuous behavior to seek validation from men, so I created a career that is constant validation.
And how many men so far do you think you've helped?
Help?
Yeah, help not be terrible men.
Thousands.
1,000. So how do you help them?
Very transparent conversation, and then I help facilitate the discussion between fitness, nutrition, and testosterone replacement, and making it not scary, because a lot of guys think that they're just taking steroids, or they're cheating, or it's going to kill them, stuff like that.
And because we have a lot of experience, this is where reps do matter. You can't templatize this. Me and Luis, who are listening, we already know that when she said a specific age, people in their 20s. So now I'm like, what other problems do people in their 20s have?
So sedentary lifestyle, they have a lot more body fat than when I was growing up. I'm 42. We were playing outside. Kids now more so play video games, and the whole subject of the toxic masculinity and the suppression of masculinity, that comes into the home, because instead of hunting and gathering, as men are supposed to do, meaning either chasing women or whoever going out in the world, they're getting that through video games. They don't have to confront people in the real world, and it doesn't have the same effect.
So, in this thing, so one thing that's happening, and this is why I know it's not ideal for a lot of people to travel with multiple people. Like Ari's typing away furiously right now, but Luis is also listening too. So, when you're concentrating on the person speaking, and even when you're speaking, you black out. Like you're trying to listen intently. So it's like sometimes I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what to say. So then I go, Luis, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it even goes back to what you were saying
Oh,
earlier.
okay.
So, pretend that I'm a fatherless son, and tell you're saying that my dick's not working how it should be working.
Yeah.
How do I test
Oh,
that?
pretend it's not working?
No, like assume that I
I
don't
mean,
have
you
a
can
father.
tell, we've talked on the side, it's okay.
I do have a dad, but like,
That doesn't mean your dick's gonna work, though.
how do I know if my dick is working?
How do you know?
Yeah,
Have you been intimate with a woman or a
Yes.
man or whoever?
yeah,
And has it worked?
it has.
Okay. So that's how you know. Number one. However, does it work to the potential that you would like it to? You can say no for the sake of the discussion.
No.
So if it doesn't, then I would ask you, what have you gone through in your life that maybe was traumatic? Because everything results from childhood trauma. And what your social experiences have been like, and do you work out? Let's say maybe you do work out. Okay, cool. Do you look the way you want? A lot of that has to do with self-confidence. Are you able to talk to somebody at a level that you feel maintains good social etiquette? A lot
What
of
does that
people are
mean?
scared.
What does that mean?
A lot of people are scared to be in a social setting or have social anxiety or something resulted from an experience that they had, maybe talking to women or going to a nightclub, they were rejected, stuff like that. So we would get into the nitty gritty of that.
Let's get into it.
Because I'm not afraid to ask those questions.
So one thing I want to say about what Luis was doing, and again, normally we're not narrating this while doing it. It's, you know, he when she said social etiquette, he goes, what is that? A lot of people in this room probably know what social etiquette is, but again, remember what I said, everybody outside this room is stupid? They don't know what social etiquette is. So just the act of her saying that was more detailed. Those details are longer watch time,
I see what you did.
and it's educational. They're learning something, even if it's something as simple as like something you should already know. So people.
Yeah. I forgot where we're going.
Now
but-
again, I just killed the flow by doing that.
So how do I know if I've been traumatized?
Were you ever rejected younger and during one of your relationships? Were you ever molested as a child? Did you ever have a disastrous event where maybe you lost your house or someone passed away unexpectedly or your mom or dad left or maybe a sibling in you got into it, they were arrested, something like that?
Okay, so I mean, I had multiple girls say no, and then I lost my brother when I was younger.
All right, so why did they say no?
Because I was being a simp. That's what would be called back then.
Back then?
Yeah, this wasn't high school.
That was in high school. And how many relationships did you have in high school?
Like 4. I was more of I just wanted something commitment-wise. And I think the girl I was chasing at that time frame, she just wanted like to have fun in the moment. There was another one chasing me that I ignored because I was pursuing another one.
So they were chasing you, but you were a simp.
For another one, yeah.
Okay, got it. Usually that makes them want you because you're unattainable. So
What is
you
that?
have, with women, you have to make us think you're not interested and ignore us. And then we have to make sure that you are still interested by playing that line and basically make you want us. My mother always taught me, make him come to you, make him want you. So why don't you chase harder?
I just didn't know. I was young.
How old?
High school, so like, I don't know, 17 or 16?
And did you lose your virginity then?
Like around that time frame, yeah.
Okay, and what happened with her, or him, or them?
That was a different one. That was after. Just some girl wearing
Was
my
that like a
car.
hit and run, or was that like,
No.
you know, like,
No,
was it an actual relationship? Was it special? Did you use protection?
It did. It just happened in my car.
Spermicide?
No.
Magnums?
sadly,
XL.
I can't.
Do people use those still?
No, I mean that was an interesting experience the first time because I was just like there. I'm
Well-
like, will I ever end?
Yeah. So one
What?
thing. So another thing. So
That
she
went-
said, like, spermicide. Like, is there something bad with spermicide?
Not that I remember.
Oh, okay. You said spermicide? It was. So we're again fishing for like maybe she has an opinion on spermicide on the con like that. Like yeah, there's
Buckets.
yeah.
both,
So
like,
so this is like getting things going. This might go on for 20, 30 minutes, you know. And also you see like you're getting vulnerable with the client too. Like again, remember the rapport thing? You're becoming friends very quickly.
That this is not direct to platform and tell them that I'm
Yeah.
actually creating the topic list.
Yeah. So again, so she's typing over here, creating the topic list, and then we're gonna once we turn the camera, because again, we're just envisioning this at a kitchen table right now. We're gonna go, okay, we're gonna go direct to camera, and then we change locations, and then we keep going, and that's when the direct to camera goes. And one question, I'll take more at the end.
Sorry, is the subject looking into the camera? Right?
Yes, she's like, I mean, this could be either or. You'll see most of it. It's like kind of back and forth. Like they're sometimes looking at me or Luis or the camera, or they're talking away. Honestly, it doesn't matter. In a lot of cases, it probably would do better if they didn't look at the camera. But you don't want to I don't want to stop them and be like, oh, look at the camera, look at the camera. Like it's just free flowing. Like let it be. So now we'll go into like what we call buckets. So like we have relationship buckets. So do you have any opinions about how to get a relationship in your 20s?
I'm old now, so I would say talk to as many people as you can. Get out there. Don't do it through a computer screen. Don't do it through text. Physically talk to a person, because I think that's a lost art. I think people have lost the ability in how to communicate. The more people you can get in front of, which I learned from personal training early on, the more personalities, the more issues, the more traumas, stuff like that, that you can relate to and chameleon to relate to is very important, because then that helps you develop communication style and be able to relate and empathize.
So, yeah, so I already know what, me and Luis kind of already know what we're thinking. So in this case, she said you need to get out and talk to women. And you need to not do it through your computer screen. How many people in here just got terrified of that? Like, yeah, there he is, we got one. Hey man, appreciate transparency's best, bro. Woo! So right now, we already know, based on data and research, we need a step-by-step. What do I say if I want to walk up to a girl and talk to her?
Give her a compliment.
What?
Also remind her to like restate the question that he asked you as well.
Yeah.
Like, this one you can say like if I was a 20-year-old guy,
Yeah.
you can start off by saying if I was a 20-year-old guy that wanted to get a girl, and then just go.
Fine.
Yep. You're good.
Go.
Waiting on you.
If I were a 20-year-old guy, I would walk up to a woman and say, hi, I like your whatever she's wearing, necklace, something like that.
How do I learn what to compliment them on? Is one thing better than the other?
If there's something unique that you know that she'd appreciate, so like when I had a faux hawk, people compliment my hair, like I think that's cool.
So, would this be like the opening line, or like what do I? But then I'm like, I'm really shy. Like, what do I say after that?
See how she responds.
Right.
If she turns her body away, she's likely not interested. So then just bring up something completely irrelevant, or where are you from?
All right, so say where you're from or not say where you're from?
Ask her where she's from.
Oh, ask her for. And then, is to have these conversations, should I learn about like female things, or should I?
Like the menstrual cycle.
We could do that, but like to make things easier, because as a guy, I don't really know what to compliment women on. Maybe I'm uncomfortable for that, and and also what should I compliment them on, and how many times do you think I need to do this?
You don't want to go too in with it. Too many compliments can be a little bit off-putting, but it also depends on where you are, right? So if you're in the gym, I think that's a different setting than if you're in a nightclub or if you're a bar or whatever. So you can't really go wrong with something she's wearing if it comes across in a tasteful way. And then if it's in the gym, you can say that, hey, you had great form, or that weight was impressive. Don't say that was more than me, because that's an immediate turnoff.
So is that the best pickup line at the gym?
Which one?
The complimenting them, or what is the best pickup line at the gym?
say the thing again.
So what is the best pickup line at the gym? I would say like, oh man, I don't know.
Well, yep. So should you
Yeah.
should you approach a girl at the gym, and if so, when?
So headphones usually means don't talk to me. The best time to approach, should you approach a woman at the gym? The best time to approach her is when she's done or when you know that she is not trying to pay attention to what she's doing in the workout. Nobody likes to be interrupted mid-workout. Nobody likes can you take your headphones out? Like, there's a reason they're in. Don't talk to me mid-set. No, and seriously, no, but I'm serious. Everyone hates that. You want it when her attention is not on what her workout is. So,
What does that look like? Like, role play that. Like, what does that look like? Like, you just finished your deadlifts, let's say.
you know, like, oh, you have great form. Where did you learn it? What do you do for a living?
And she's not wearing the headphones and that.
Yes, headphones are out.
She's done.
She's done. Maybe she's posting on Instagram. Don't
if-
ask like where.
What if she's like mid-set, then you're like,
No, absolutely not. Mid-set.
how do I know? Like, is there like I just know, like she's done with her sets? Or,
She's like packing up.
Yeah, when she's packing up, takes the headphones out, like, you know, she's getting ready to leave. I would not follow her to her car, but
I was waiting.
I would make it a
Yeah.
point to be in the way of her path. Or, you know, heck, because when I've gotten hit on at the gym, like, I appreciate those types of compliments. Now, maybe somebody else wouldn't. I know there's a lot of videos and a lot of memes out there of women who do not like to be stared at when they're performing certain exercises. I have opinions on that. I think, like, obviously, if you're wearing a certain something to the gym and you have a great body, like, that's awesome. So I do the same thing to guys. I will eye rape them.
Do you there's a lot of ways to go, obviously, with what Ali said. I'm sure. Are you guys kind of seeing like the flow of like, and one thing? So this is where like a random video, like, so obviously headphones. So I'm like, do you know the type of girl somebody is by what headphones they wear?
Oh, probably, but like,
What do AirPods say about you?
Yeah.
and you can say, if a girl's wearing AirPods.
AirPods I associate with New York City or California. I'm from Connecticut. It's right outside New York City. Serious. Also, you have a very unique ear, I think, for AirPods to fit and not fall out. So maybe you don't train hard enough. I don't know.
Say, what about Beats?
I love Beats. I wear the Power Beats because they stay on.
The wrap one.
The wrap ones, yeah.
Yeah.
The over the head, like I think those are pretty stylish too. Like you do not want to be bothered if you have over the head.
And what about AirPod Pros or like the big ones, like the
DJ ones?
$800 Apple?
You do not want to be bothered. Like, do not go near me. I don't even know how to talk to you type of thing.
So just that little clip right there, like in the direct to camera, like because we're still doing the viral breakdown, but in the direct to, like, I just took a mental note that she has a very strong opinion on the AirPod Pros.
You're probably a shadow boxer.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right now,
There's always one in the gym, right? There's always that one guy.
15 topics
Okay.
from that viral breakdown.
You want to mention them?
Yeah, here, let's just, so now imagine that we have left the kitchen table or area where we're having a casual conversation, and now we're like, okay, we're gonna go to the direct-to-camera videos. And usually this is like a 10 to 15 minute process, getting reset up, moving. This is where like Allie would go change her shirt, change an outfit, maybe grab a cup of coffee, start getting charged up again. Because from this, so Ariana got 16 different topics. And again, these are, they're bullet points. They're jump off points. But these are more hooks, okay? So again, some of these are going to repeat when you move into the direct-to-camera because now we're going to give her a minute or so to kind of formulate a quicker, punchier response.
We warmed her up too.
And she's like loose. She's laughed. You have rapport with her. You guys have talked about boners, getting beat up as a child. We're vibing, you know? So
Family at this point.
yeah, so Ari,
Go direct to camera.
yep, I'll just read them off. So
Magnums.
So Ari has a list now. And again, we might change these, you know. So why do you talk about boners, daddy issues in men growing up? How did you grow out of daddy issues? How do you help men? What is sexual performance anxiety? How do you fix that? Should men get on TRT? Toxic masculinity? Is social anxiety real? Different types of childhood trauma, opinions about condoms, how should I date in my 20s, step by step how to talk to a girl, what's the best pickup line at the gym, should you approach a girl at the gym? What do your headphones say about you? And then eye raping. So again, these fill up quick, and this is where, again, we have our list that we came prepared with, that we already researched on Allie. And then we're doing this, getting all the new stuff. Because the headphone, like, I'm like, that's a fucking banger, the headphone video. Like,
I never thought of that.
and then, so now when we would do it as a direct-to-camera, I'd be like, okay, we only want to do this about AirPod Pros. This is a singular video about AirPod Pros. What do they say about you? And then she's going to state her opinion. But again, this video might not be better than the viral breakdown because when she said that, she was more wittier in a conversational response. It's more natural. Now, this is, if you have advanced editors, they can take footage from one video and another video and put them together. There's nothing that says you can't do that. You do have to have good editors for that, though. So we would then, now we have this, plus we have that list that we've already been prepared, and we're like, okay. Yeah, so just with that, she already took about 16 videos came out of that. You know, and we talked for, you know, how long? Like, we've been doing it for 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Like, you know, so again, we're crunched on time, and I want to do some Q&A. And now we would do, yeah, now we're going to do this, we'll do one, let's do the AirPod Pro, we're going to build that one, because that's some views for you. And it's like, why the fuck is there people behind this woman?
So the viral breakdown serves to build rapport and fish for hooks.
Fish for hooks and topics, like, and just stuff that's not out in the public.
And that's with the
But you're actually creating your topic list. So once we're done with the viral breakdown, she's gonna change, and then we're just gonna go ham, and both of them are gonna be directing, and I'm keeping the counts.
So right,
You'll
yeah,
see it, like-
yeah. So right now, so we're gonna go. This is about AirPod Pros. So I'm gonna say, and we're already thinking in hooks. A good one is here's what AirPod Pros say about you. So that's your hook. You're gonna say that, and some people don't know what the hook is. You have to educate them. So I'd be like, look, this is just a singular, fast-paced sentence that you need to say. This is where you're acting. You know, here's what your AirPod Pros say about you. Instead of like, AirPod Pros, they say this about you. This is where you need to stop people from scrolling. So, you know, that's your hook. Here's what your AirPod Pros say about you. So go ahead and say that, and then just flow into whatever opinion you have about AirPod Pro.
Here's what your AirPod Pros say about you.
So
Here's
actually,
what your
say that with like direct eye contact. Like anybody that wears an AirPod Pro is a pussy.
To all the men out there.
Yeah.
Here's what your AirPod Pros say about you. You're probably a runner. Pretty much going to be a vegan.
Oh.
I'm gonna guess you don't really train that hard because those things fall out like a mofo. You're likely skinny fat, but also wear Lululemon at the same time. Maybe Vuori, maybe the Hoka running shoes. And you're also very likely to be having conversations with clients while training, which also goes back to the point of not training that hard, which means not necessarily jacked, which also means more likely to have a ton of body hair and not necessarily have the look of a jacked and lean lifter.
What is skinny fat?
Skinny fat is when guys are small, but they still have muscle tone showing. So you could have abs because you're jacked and you're ripped and you have a six-pack, or you can just have abs because you're anorexic. So I'm gonna err on the side of the vegan, anorexic, likely to be a runner, probably into certain political things that I won't go into, but yeah.
No politics.
No politics.
We fix this.
Yeah, Louise asked, how do we fix this? How do we not?
This is me.
Yeah.
You hire me, duh.
So again, there are times where a pitch is appropriate. In this case, though, if we're trying to get her views, like there should be no pitch. So how do I fix being skinny fat?
So
Solution. Tell
Yeah,
them
yeah,
that
it's-
we have a formula.
Yeah. So we want to provide. So AirPod Pros just opened up. Like now the whole world is watching because AirPod Pros are relatable. There's millions sold every year. So boom, broad hook. Very recognizable. Then it's getting a little more narrow because she's poking at different personality types. She's making fun of people. So like people are getting angry. And then she busted out the skinny fat comment. And then I follow up that because skinny fat's a term you might not know what that is.
That's another video too.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother video that just came about being skinny fat. So, but for the sake of this video, I want her to give a definition to the term skinny fat. And then we're gonna say, how do we cure skinny fat? Because now the video opened, educated, concluded, and finished. With that type of video would probably get her a lot of followers and has the capacity to go viral because it is talking about AirPod Pros.
And then you're gonna wanna work with her because
And-
she helps people.
Yeah, and then over time, enough of these videos go out, they're gonna wanna work with Allie because she helped them. And so let's do a conclusion. Did we say, because this is where you black out, I'm like, did we give the conclusion? How do you fix skinny fat? No. Okay, so how do you actually fix skinny fat? Yeah.
So there's a cycle that guys go through where they will think that in order to have the look of shreddiness, they have to diet down, but they will overdo it, slash calories, increase their activity way too much to the point that they feel small. So then they try to eat more and they'll bulk or dirty bulk, and then they'll end up fatter than they actually wanted to be. And so then that cycle begins again where they slash calories, overdo the exercise, feel small again. So look at it as you're taking about a year at least to transform. Get in the gym, lift hard, eat enough protein, and don't be afraid of carbs, because dudes are just as afraid of carbs as women are, and just as afraid of what the scale says as women are. And then repeat consistently over and over for at least a year.
Is this the same for men or women?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, repeat that.
Is this the same for men or women?
This is the same for men.
This is the same for both men and women.
So adding that in there, because she kind of went the man angle. Obviously, that's what she specialized in. But that just cut out 50% of the world. Now women just swiped away. So by having just that simple line of this works for men or women, and then now this is where your editor has to recognize that, because that should go before what you said a little bit ago.
So you can go skinny fat, this is the same for men and women, and then...
Into the definition of skinny fat. And that,
Do you wanna do any hooks?
yeah.
Solution?
Yeah. So this is a very complete video, and I know we didn't stop here, but this is about roughly a 4 to 5 minute file right now. So we need to, and you're watching this because you don't want them to get too big, because it's more work for the editor or somebody later. So this is, in this case, like, I have a good feeling about AirPod Pro videos, so I'm like, let's do 2 or 3 hooks. So it's do skinny fat guys wear AirPod Pros? And this is where, like, again, like, you want to encourage the client to bring energy, and like, they got it. This is like acting. It's performing. It's getting people to stop. So
Do skinny fat guys wear AirPod Pros?
perfect. And it said, if you're skinny fat, you probably wear AirPod Pros.
If you're skinny fat, you probably wear AirPod Pros.
And then I would go, Luis, do you have any?
Yeah, say AirPod Pros are making you skinny fat.
AirPod Pros are making you skinny fat.
That's
Now-
good to wrap it up.
Yeah.
on
Now,
like this.
so that was 3 plus her natural one that spoke originally. So this, we would go ahead and obviously end the file. And then we would continue to do this. So the next video, because she said skinny fat, like, let's do another video about skinny fat. That might not have been on the original list, but we just got it, and she's like actively taking notes. Now again, when there's 3, it's easier. If you're doing this solo, it is challenging.
With
Yeah.
those 3 hooks, are those 3 different videos?
No, so what we do is the editor would edit one complete variation of that video, and then give us, we used to do 2 different variations, but we do 1 variation now. So the editor does 1 singular video, but we get 2 versions of that video with a different intro. We have done this on my account up to like 5 to 10 videos at a time. Like, it's just working with clients, they just don't like to see the same video that many times. So you got to be sparing with it. Or you have 1 video that's posted month 1, and then 1 video that's posted month 3. This is easy when you're working with less clients, but when you're working like with 18 to 20 accounts like we do, that gets very confusing for the posters. So we like to post them at the same time, and it gives it a true split test. Now, what's the time? All right,
Yeah,
I want to just wrap up really quickly.
A couple things is, number one, a couple things. Number one, this is all written out, specific with topics and hooks. So I send this to the senior editor, so as they're editing, there's nothing missed.
Yeah.
So as they're, you know what I mean? And then so far, for the number of viral breakdown videos, we had 16 at the beginning, just raw, organic, natural flow. And then we just did 2 direct-to-platform videos. So in 30 minutes, we got 18 videos.
Yeah. And then this would switch to the rapid fire, and then rapid fire would be simply like this. What's your favorite Nike shoe? And
Blazers.
Why Blazers? Like, that's rapid fire. And then next thing we'd like, did you like the Barbie movie?
No, I didn't see it.
Then why'd you buy a Barbie sweater?
because I'm nostalgic.
Yep. And then it's like, then I see she's wearing, is it Garmin?
Yeah.
So, is there, what's your favorite electronic watch or smartwatch? She's making this very easy. It's not always like there's a lot of things to talk about, but these are the rapid fires, and these aren't going to be massive big videos. You want these to be punchy answers, like that. Now that we've done all that, that's when I would come in. And me and Ali, we've done videos together on our public, and I would again. These usually we just switch to the phone really quick. We're starting to put the cameras away. The day's over. It's like, and then we start doing videos. Like Luis will plug in the phone. We'll go stand somewhere, and it's boot boot back and forth for another 20 or so. However much And again, I don't always do those. I don't encourage you to always do those. Yeah, it's just where you see this.
Rapid fire seems kind of like yes, no responses.
Yes,
When
it's
would you use those?
purely opinionated stuff. Yeah, you just want things. You don't want them to think. This is where you want these purely personality. Like we could do it. Like, what do you think about AirPod Pros? What do you think about this? What do you think about there is going to be similarities because you're learning, but it's their personality is coming out through all of this. And back there, he's got something up, and then I got you, Tony.
Yeah, so obviously you're posting the videos for the viral breakdown, but there's a couple of them that were good, but didn't have a book.
Yes.
So the book after, or like.
In some cases, this is where, yes, if you have the option, and so Ari is taking notes or somebody's there, we can go back and film hooks if we know we need those. A lot of times, you don't know you need those, so it's too late. And in this instance, you can, we have great clients, we can say, hey, can you open up, take out your cell phone and say this? And then text it to me.
Does it matter if it's different clothing though?
No, not at all. In my opinion, it doesn't. We Frankenstein videos together all the time. That's kind of what we call that. And then so rapid fire, get as many as you want. They should be fun. They should be lighthearted, because they just done all this creative work. You've constructed videos for 4 hours, 5 hours. They are drained, you're drained, and that's kind of how I also try to do my interviews too. When I'm collabing with people, I try to just keep it lighthearted and fun. And I'll do one more question in the back, and then we gotta wrap this up because Adley's gonna be coming on.
So when you're doing these, how much of this is pre-planned in the beginning versus you're just on the spot directing based off their behavior?
Yeah, so we send an original topic list prior to us going to them. That could be anywhere from 50 to 100 topics that we have constructed based on what is already out there on the internet. We might use a quarter of that. The rest of it is what we just on the spot. Because again, the goal is to get what is not already on the internet. And if it's a new client, you kind of have a blank slate. So your first 90 days is well, we need to see what the internet thinks about you. Do they like your opinions about this? Do they not? So it's you have a blank canvas that way. When you're researching somebody, it's a little bit easier because you already know what the internet's put out there and what they respond to. And you're just looking, and Luis is gonna go through this later today, the process of researching, but that's kind of the model. And we can take more questions about this later on today. I'm gonna do a lot of Q&A later on tonight. But I wanna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you, Ali, for your opinions.
Also, please follow Ali Gilbert on Instagram. The Ali Gilbert with an I.
She's on.
Yep.
And so we're going to go ahead and take a 10-minute break, okay? And then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to talk about the next speaker, and we're going to get moving. Please don't take longer than 10 minutes. I know everybody's going to take 15, but please don't take longer than 10.